Good evening, everyone. Are we here? It is, as you can see, another little bit different of a setup, but we're getting there. We're getting closer and closer. So right now, we just want to welcome everybody. Give everyone some time to join us. It is Sunday night, SFMF Live. We got some big news. If you remember from Wednesday, we're on Wednesday, right? We had the Annie Banani update. And it's tomorrow. Her graduation is tomorrow. NSI, 2.5 weeks, new student indoctrination, right? NSI, Great Lakes, Chicago, Illinois. We're going to go check her out, watch the graduation, hopefully take some pictures, maybe get a little video. We'll see what kind of, it's a very strict base, so not sure what we'll be able to film and not how much I can get in there with my camera. But I'll try. I'll try. All right, let's see who is here. Dixon, right? Yeah, Hot Rod, what's up, Hot Rod? Good to see you, right? Congratulations to her. I'll definitely pass it on to her, but tomorrow, it's tomorrow. We're going to fly out there tonight, go to graduation tomorrow, come back. So we're planning on being here Wednesday live with Annie Banani. So she'll be able to tell you all about it. 5x5 says Mike Smith. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Jordan, good evening to you, Jordan. Here to report for duty and some motivation. That's why I'm here. Definitely need some motivation around this time. Been busy. Of course, we've been super busy. Bala Smitty, I see you. All right, so welcome everybody. Sunday. First and foremost, and I don't give shout outs, but I got to give one to Captain Ferguson. If you're here in the gym, I told you, if you ever see me anywhere on the street, please stop. The last one, a couple of days before that one, I think his name was Jordan. But I'm going to make it a point. Do you remember?
I think it was
Jordan, right? Yeah, I'm going to make more of a point. And here's what, this was in the locker room, so I didn't want to say, hey, let's take a photo, because that's kind of weird. We just got done working out. But Captain Ferguson, after he got dressed, he came over and said, hey, I seen you. Your shorts show up in my feed. I like what you're doing. Thanks. It's huge. That means everything to us, right? And that what I did that time is put his name in my phone so I can give a shout out. Captain Ferguson, hopefully you're here tonight. If not, no big deal, but hopefully you continue to watch and spread the word. So all that to say, if you see me, please stop. We're on the move all the time. You know that, you can tell. So there's no telling where you'll see me. So if you do, definitely stop. I'm going to take a photo with my camera this time. I got to remember to do that. Once we're all in the clear, though, I met Cuba Gooding Jr. one time years ago. The producer and I were doing security for the Oscars, the Academy Awards in Los Angeles. We were doing security, and they put us all over the place. I may have told the story because I kind of worked the system a little bit, because they put me in a parking lot way far from everybody. I didn't get to see anybody. So when they came around to check shifts, I'm like, hey, they told me to go inside the theater. And they did. They put me in the van, drove me to the theater. I was right in the front door, met Arnold Schwarzenegger, the whole cast from Scream. Scream, when Scream first came out. Met all those guys in the elevator, talking to all them. I was making a head call downstairs in like a basement bathroom. And there was Cuba Gooding Jr. I was like, wow, what's up, man? Cuba Gooding Jr. Let's get a photo. And I went to like shake his hand, but there was stalls that were directly across from each other, like chest high. He's like, tell you what, let's finish our business, wash our hands, and then we can go take a photo and shake hands outside. So make sure that it's appropriate timing, but definitely want to start getting more photos of all of y'all, right? Put on the show. All right. So shout out to Captain Ferguson. Thank you, sir. Era, Semper Fi. Devil Dog, Leatherneck, Era. Is that, are we spelling, can you see that? Yeah, how do we get that clown off of there? Because I saw another comment, maybe y'all did, say, hey, really like what you're doing. Great show. This is for the young Marines or newly coming in the Corps Marines. Appreciate you what you're doing, but I had to unsubscribe. Why would you go through all that trouble to unsubscribe? Why can't you just hang out? Like and subscribe if you can. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
I appreciate the time that he has spent with us.
Yeah, and one, I do absolutely appreciate the time he has spent with us and feedback. Feedback is amazing, right? I have no idea how we're doing if y'all don't tell us. I get feedback from the producer quite a bit though. She tells me good and bad, everything. So we got to know, how do we grow this channel? How do we all learn more? That's my favorite now when someone says, you do what? You're a YouTube guy? What are you doing there? It's a community. We're building a community. Like I'm trying to go back to, I might take some college classes. And the guy who was helping me, he's a former Marine. He's like, well, what is it about? Building a community of like-minded people and make sure people don't learn the hard way like us old timers did. Like we chose to learn the hard way on most things. Not purposely, hard-headed, right? Marines in general, hard-headed. And we want to do everything ourselves, right? That's what I did. I thought I could, but no need. No need for all that. All right. What's up, Eric S., David Bryant? Hello, old Jyrene. Let me just take a little roll call. Who else? Who else is in the house? I'm looking. You see, I'm looking right at the screen. You can listen. You can feel. You can listen or you can feel. Best advice I've ever got. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. You can listen or you can feel.
Where did you see that?
Oh, like feel the word? Oh. Guns, Adam East, good to see you.
Is your
Jared.
earphones on?
Oh.
That's why it sounds so bad.
My bad. We hear the dong. It's in the house. I didn't hear it. Anybody hear it? Does it sound different? Check 1, 2, check. Doesn't sound any different, right? How do I get it to? Is it because I'm closed out on everything? How's it sound? I got a 5x5 from somebody. Better? On? Okay. All right. Still good. Yeah, yeah. Uh, all right. So that was my shout out. Here's the next topic. Again, a couple good topics we want to talk about. When to wear your uniform. And we're talking active duty, retirees, prior service, veterans. That is still coming up a lot in other channels, right? Military channels. And it's the ones wearing the uniforms for podcasts, TikToks, those stupid videos they do. The couple of recent ones I saw, like these. It was a male and a female, two army people like trying to eat them. The Marine Corps would call it when Marines try to eat themselves out of the Corps. That means they can't hang. They don't know any other way to get kicked out or just quickest way out of the Marine Corps. Same way, quickest way out of boot camp, graduate. Quickest way out of the Marine Corps, do your 4 years honorably, right? And take advantage of those benefits later on. Best way to get out. But these guys in the army, again, with their grooming standards and their height and weight, this girl was gigantic and she was in camis in her uniform. You could see US Army, see her name, see her rank, and she was testing different. She was in a fast food. I don't even remember what restaurant. I think it was Wendy's or something. She's like, she was eating on camera, talking about how good it is and how much weight she's gaining, right? Like she was I gotta imagine she's just trying to take some jabs at the army, right? Then later she's gonna blame the army. Army messed me over. Look at me now. Army didn't do any of that. They're fine to the other 600,000 soldiers. So might not be the army. And there was a dude doing the same thing, or just the ones mostly females that are twerking and trying to look sexy and all the they're doing their makeup tutorial all while in uniform. It's obviously not illegal yet, but for us old schoolers and help me out in here, talk to each other about it. That's just something you don't do. And it is written somewhere in our contracts that you definitely can't talk about politics. That's what I was just talking to a friend the other day. We didn't go, and he even said those words, not to go into politics, but, and then we kind of talked about it. And I said, you know what? It was so easy for me for the entire time I was active duty because I wasn't allowed to talk about it. Right. So I didn't let it bother me either way. Now that I'm out, now my eyes are open. I can see actually what is really going on and the crookedness of it all. It's different now. But we knew as active duty members, you don't do anything in your uniform. You don't represent the Marine Corps and talk about presidents, talk about policies, talk about war, right? And why we going to Afghanistan. Well, here's what I think. You don't do that. And more people are doing it nowadays. I don't know how close to the law they're getting, or if anything changed. Freedom of speech, got it. Not when you sign the contract. Now you belong to the government, so you can't just free speech. I think that should be tied into these dumb videos on TikTok they're making where they're shoving Big Macs down their mouth, or they're twerking, or they're trying to look sexy and they're doing weird stuff in their uniform. They get the likes, they get it, and the consumers they're just as bad because they're watching it. That's why these active duty members are doing it. So there's got to be a law, and I'm guessing with the new Secretary of Defense and the new administration, they're going to put a squash to all that. Right? It's unnecessary. It's bringing bad light on the services, and I got to believe that's why these s- specific people would do it. Right? That girl had to be 100 pounds overweight. I'm guessing. I think she was doing it to make the army look bad. Does she not know she's looking bad? Right? She's the only person she's making look bad is herself. Same with the twerking and the dancing and the trying to look sexy on camera in your uniform. Is that why you joined, to start a YouTube channel to do dumb things, get the likes and get, maybe it sure seems like it recently. A lot more are doing that more and more. Um, when used correctly, everybody kind of wins, right? Those same people, if that female has a problem with the army, discuss it in a more mature manner. Hey, I think the army's screwing me over, and here's how, and here's why. What do y'all think? Try to learn from each other. Because they sure do censor a whole lot of stuff. They kind of censor what they want, but something like that where she's completely embarrassing herself and the army. Again, you would think they'd censor. Yeah, so it's happening a lot more. There's even a comment on one of my shorts I did, or video, short and a video, when it was me and Annie Banani. We're doing drill. If you haven't seen that, please go watch it, check it out. We were in boots and utes, both of us. She's a cadet, so she's authorized to wear the boots and utes. I was a JROTC instructor at the time. So authorized. I'm retired. You don't go out in camis and make videos and doing all that stuff if you're out, if you're retired, if you did your 4 years, that is unauthorized unless you're a JROTC instructor. There's a couple other things I'm guessing. Um, the college, what are the college instructors called? The sergeant instructors. Actually, they're still active duty. So there's times you can, and you'll see again if you haven't seen my video, Annie Banani, and I doing drill. Please watch that and critique it, right? Because she's pretty solid in drill, and I know tomorrow when we see graduation, she better be a squad leader. See that it is on Facebook. What's the NROTC? So she's in Great Lakes, Illinois. The NSI, New Student Indoctrination for the U.S. Navy, but it's a U.S. Naval Academy. Are they the ones running it? Excuse me, NSI. Check it out, but it's on Facebook, and it's their graduations are huge. 2.5 weeks. I think it's pretty intense. Huh? Yeah, yeah. If you have Facebook, we don't do Facebook, but we someone does, and they sent us the pictures. So it's on Facebook, and graduation is a big deal. We watched last year's graduation. It's huge, a couple hundred cadets. Now throughout, because she was a ROTC scholarship, NROTC, Navy ROTC scholarship, Marine option. And there's a few in there that you'll see they're in green on green. The rest of Navy, they're in blue and gold. Right. But I think for graduation, from what we saw, graduation, they all wear whites. I don't know. I'm hoping she'll be in Deltas tomorrow or even Charlie's. We'll see. We'll see at graduation though. All right. What's up, Doc? Good to see you, Holiday. Doc Holiday. I haven't looked at the screen in a little while, but good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It is Sunday night. We are shortly after this. We got to kind of pack up and go make sure we're not late for Annie Banani's graduation. We're taking the red eye tonight, and again, really excited to get her back on. One to just hear the stories. We did talk to her. Have we talked to you since we talked to her? Yeah. No. We talked to her Saturday. Yeah. Then we're on Sunday. And then we talked to her. Yes. So yes. So those of you who weren't here Wednesday, we spoke to her on the phone. Right. It was their 2 week mark or week and a half mark, whatever. Yep. But they gave them their phones. She had 15 minutes, and I tell you, it was like 14 minutes and 50 seconds. They were on it. So I think the school pretty impressed so far. We'll hear from Annie Banani, but pretty impressed with the organization of it. But she did. At first, she got on the phone. She sounded pretty discouraged. And you know her. She's beast mode. So I think she expected like 300 little beast modes, but that's never reality, right? She very optimistic like me. I would expect everyone to be top of the top, right? Era. My last job, you hear me talk about a lot. I expected everyone to be era. It's far from it. So it's I think that was her expectations going in, and maybe not so much. You'll hear. I'll let her tell you. But so it was good. It was good to talk to her. I think it was good for her too. All right. Uh Eric is it's the fourth, isn't it? Oh yeah. August 3rd. Is it the fourth though? It is according to my DD 214. I ain't scared. Pay entry base day. Today is my anniversary. Not our marriage anniversary, but my Marine Corps anniversary. Actually, it's the fourth, so tomorrow. A couple years ago, anniversary. What's up, Michael's drones? Right there, John Morse. Oh, that's right. I haven't looked at the comments in like 30 minutes. Oh, can you tell me what that says? A big bright yellow one? That caught my attention. So yes, my pay entry base date, PEBD. Oh, okay. Well, can you read it? What's the name? Masked Patriot has a question, and he dropped a super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Masked Patriot. Question is going up for a meritorious corporal board. How do you prepare? Yeah. You want to be a unicorn. There's got to be a wow factor. I like that using that unicorn. You have to be a unicorn in the group of all the other Marines going up for it. There's got to be a wow factor. Be very careful with that. They're not gonna. I don't think they ask those questions anymore. How many holes in the MRE cracker, right? How many beads and dog tag chains? They don't. That used to be a big thing for a long time, just to test your bearing. And I've been on both sides of the table for meritorious boards. I would never ask those gotcha questions. I never did, and I really don't remember as a Marine going up for board, being asked one of those. We prepared for them, and they tell you, you never know. They can ask you how many holes in the MRE cracker. So we would kind of study stuff like that. When I was on the depot, I went up for meritorious staff sergeant, and it came up again. I was told they're going to ask you things like how many steps does it take to go from one end of the grinder to the other, from the north end to the south end, from the east end to the west end. the grinder. They did ask history about the depot and the grinder, and particularly the name of it and all those things, but no gotcha questions. Be ready, right? And all they're doing, all those questions are for is to test your bearing, right? If they say how many licks of a lollipop, they're just testing your bearing. What are you going to do when you get asked one of those crazy questions? And most of the time, there's no right or wrong answer to it, right? The opinionated questions are very important as well. So let's back up. You're going up for the board already, right? He's already on the board. You're going up for the board, so you've been selected. So obviously, you're doing something right. So the wow factor has to be your professionalism the moment you open that door. It has to be from start to finish, and like over exaggerated. When they tell you whatever their process is to get you inside the door, you're gonna bang on the hatch, request permission to enter. As soon as they say enter, come in, whatever, as soon as that door opens, you're 100% professional and locked and cocked and everything you do is like that. And they're going to tell you, relax, take a seat behind you. Don't be those guys that, oh, because I'll tell you, take a deep breath. No need to be nervous. We're going to ask you some questions. Here's how it's going to go. Sergeant Major Jones is going to ask you two, all the way down to Master Gunnery Sergeant Jones. Answer the questions your best ability. Let's start by just taking a deep breath. Do it. Aye, aye, Sergeant Major. Ready to go. That's it. You're ready to go. Okay, we'll start to your left with Sergeant Major Jones. Boom. Good morning, Sergeant Major Jones. Boom. Back to everything. Even when they tell you to have a seat, your standing position of attention. Have a seat in that chair behind you. Boom. 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 Right? Right hand, right knee, left knee, fingers extended joint, thumb along the hand, head not bow straight to the front, lips closed, ready to answer the questions. You're gonna know every question that they ask you. You're going to have a brain fart and you're not going to be able to say it right then and there with 8 or 9, 5 or 6 E9s sitting in front of you, maybe even a colonel is if whoever's a senior man of the board should be all enlisted. But that's intimidating, right? They're sitting there looking at you. They're looking at your records. They looked at everything: rifle, pistol, PFT, CFT, McMap belt, everything you've done, MCIs. They're looking at all your stuff, good and bad. Now that the unicorn comes out, the wow factor is how you wow them in the question and answer period, Q&A. I think they got away from it, I don't know how long ago, but it used to be a whole production. You'd wake up early, PFT, you'd run a PFT first. Everyone going up for meritorious promotion, you'd all run a PFT. Someone keep the scores. You go back, change over, get in the Charlies, you do a Charlie inspection. Go back, get in alphas, do an alpha inspection, wall locker, JOB. All that was part of it. And that very last thing would be the Q&A. That's when you got in alphas or Charlies or what every battalion does it a little bit different. But that's when you show up to the board and you report in to do the question and answer. And that should be kind of the tiebreaker. Because you got to figure everyone going up for meritorious any rank are squared away. So what's going to set you apart? Back to the original question. What is that wow factor? What is that unicorn? That's just it. It's your confidence in bearing inside the board. Even when you don't know the answer or you can't. Repeat the answer, RVAV. Repeat the question, verify the question, answer the question, and then verify if that answered it. That's just extra confidence, right? The sergeant major asks you, um, whatever, what's your fifth general order? Right? You repeat it back to him, Sergeant Major. Your question was, what is my fifth general order? Is that your question? And he'll say, yes, it is. Then you answer it. Fifth general order is, what is the fifth one? Who knows? To report all violations of orders I'm instructed to enforce. Sir or Sergeant Major. You could ask him, does that answer your question? Now we're doing kind of a teach back type of thing, but it's just the confidence in bearing, right? Who was the eighth commandant of the Marine Corps? Sergeant Major, your question was, who was the eighth commandant of the Marine Corps? Is that your question? He'll say yes. And say, I don't recall. And don't do this Marine has been instructed, but I can't recall at this time. I don't know. I've seen it before. I've studied it. I know who it is. I can't think of it right now. So you don't know? No, sir. Be upfront and honest, not uh I know this one. I know this one. Can I get back to you? None of that. 100% professional. I do not know at this time. Very well. That's all I have for you. Next. Boom. Next one. Confidence in bearing. When they ask at the very end, do you have any questions for the board? Because they'll say, all right, any more questions? Anyone have a question for Corporal Smith?
There's a follow-up question right there.
Okay.
They're right towards combat medal and ribbons.
So do your ribbons and medals? I see John McJunkin. Good evening to it says during meritorious board combat medal and ribbons play a role in decision, like life decisions medal. Yeah, Derek, I think so. To answer your question, so his question is, does it matter if you have a Bronze Star with the combat V? Yes, it absolutely does, because that's like how you put it. Some life decisions were made for you to earn that combat award or medal or distinguishing device. So again, you got to figure everyone up there is solid Marines. You got 5 corporals. You can only promote 1 to sergeant, right? A lifeline? No, is that what he means? Like, like you can't call somebody and that's no, ain't no lifeline. Uh, yeah. Who wants to be no? Ain't no lifeline, Eric S. You got it. You got the lifeline right all right up here. So, but I was going to say towards the end, when they say, when the sergeant major comes back and says, do you have any questions for the board? If you have a question, ask it. If you got something wrong that you don't know, and like you said, the master gunnery sergeant chevron is three stripes, 4 rockers, and a pineapple in the middle. That's wrong. What's the matter with you? And obviously you say, I master gunnery sergeant, and you continue on. But at the end, and this happened to me. It's the only reason I'm telling you. The sergeant major said, do you have any questions for the board? In fact, I didn't even ask it. He did. The sergeant major said, back to the master gunnery's question, when he asked you to describe the master gunnery sergeant chevron, why did you call the bursting bomb a pineapple? Because the master gunners was pissed. And that's why I've done that short on it, I think more than once. And I told him straight up, I said, that's how I learned it. That's how we learned it. My platoon, my drill instructors told us, because the prac app period in boot camp where you have to answer those questions, they would just put up a board with all the rank insignia, and he'd say, what's number 2? What's number 4? What's number 6? And to get us to remember it, 3 stripes up, 4 rockers, pineapple in the middle. Sergeant major, 3 stripes up, 4 rockers, star in the middle. So no disrespect when I went through that board, and I hope that's not what made me get second place, but that's how I was taught. So, and I explained it just like that. I explained it to him, and I even said, Master Gunner, so no disrespect whatsoever. And that's how I was, and I was a young corporal, but I've been out of boot camp maybe a couple of years. So confidence in bearing. I wasn't trying to be fun, and I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. What was the follow-up question to it? Oh, that was the lifeline one.
So John Twerk did say thank you for the
John Twerk. Yes, if you're still here, brother, that was I hope that was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Talked about it with my wife after. What a great bunch of dudes, man. Just some good solid guys. Mission 22. If you're in here, give us a brief description in the comments. John, that was great. And brought me back to first sergeant days with 2-5. But good times. Good times. And I hope I that's what you're kind of looking for. Um, Hard to believe, but sometimes I can talk a little bit. So I hope I didn't go over your time limit there, but it was totally appreciate you reaching out and having me on. And for everyone that doesn't know, every Thursday these guys meet, and it's like-minded people talking life into each other, right? And this is mission 22. You all know 22 veterans take their lives every day. way too many. When we first started this, the SFMF, we used to do on the 22nd of every month, wherever we were, we'd stop and do 22 push-ups for the 22. In Denver, that when we were traveling, I'm telling you, in Mexico, when we drove north south one time, and any opportunity we could, and I guess we probably could have more, but like any kind of monument or welcome to Denver landmarks, something we'd stop and do 22. Um, we didn't stop altogether. We still think about those 22 every single day, and what can we do? And that's what John work is all about. The mission 22. They're still recognizing that, and how do we get it down to zero? Man, that's really what we need to work towards. Um, but they're extreme. John, you need to explain that to me in the crowd if you can. Maybe we'll get back on another call. You guys did 2,200 push-ups, right? And I think in a month, 2,200. That's a lot. And I think they're talking about going total beast mode and doubling that and doing 4,400. Obviously, you got to map it out. You can't do it all in one sitting, or can you? What's up, Carrie Ann Marie Potts? Good, thank you, Miss Cece. Uh, Protest. I do. I can see some. Can see some. Lay Cookie, what's up, my brother? Can I show Lay Cookie? You see it? He sees it back there. That's why. Again, we're moving in. Powder coating EGA today. I don't want to pick those up. ANCmetalworks.com. Check them out. We have lights, a little bit of a studio. These will be up soon. This time with lights on them. I don't even want to pick this one up. It's heavy. And Semper Fi, my friend, special order. These are all. We will get them up. Oh, we're gonna make it happen with lights. We're gonna do it right this time. Lay Cookie, we got you. We got you, and we can't wait for everyone to see it. Big O's here. What's up, Big O? Still waiting for you to call me back. When I said no rush, I didn't mean like a week. Annie Banani, she has her phone. Oh, yeah, she better get on live. Annie Banani just texted. Tell her jump on the live. I told y'all she'd get her phone tonight. They graduate tomorrow morning. I knew she'd get on her phone, or they'd get their phone. Lay Cookie, I got you, brother. For real. Diesel, server 3-7. 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines. 7th Marines got like 7th Marines. In the 2000s, served good times. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. And thank you for your support. Here's what I did want to share. The producer locked me onto this. Because some people, everyone kind of takes that a little different when someone says, thank you for your service. I'm always inclined to say, thank you, you too. Like if they served, I want to be sure to thank them as well. But I also don't want them to think, hey, yeah, I appreciate that. Did you serve? You didn't serve. I don't want any kind of negative connotation to go with it. So I kind of wait. Did you serve? What the producer is telling me a good, and then some people get like embarrassed, like, oh, you don't need to thank me, or just whatever. However you take it, that's on you. But she said a great comeback or reply would be, thank you for your support. Just simple. They say when people on here, hey, thank you for your service. Hey, thank you for your support. And that's truly 1000% how I feel. Right. And that covers them whether they served or not. And most of the time, one you can tell, or they'll tell you, thank you for your service. Yeah, I did 8 years in the Army back Vietnam. Oh, well, thank you for your service as well. So if it doesn't come up and you just say, appreciate that, thank you for your support, that could start that conversation. Sometimes a producer comes up with some pretty good ones every now and then. I see John McJunkin on here. What's up, John and crew? You got everybody tonight? Chaplain Merrifield asks, Annie Banani still squad leader? Because if she wasn't a squad leader, we would make sure she She'd be walking home. This kid. I wonder if they have guides there. And does anyone here on the channel right now know anything about NSI? Have you been? Have your kids been? NSI? It's been around for 5 years, fairly new. It's everyone that goes there has received an NROTC scholarship for college. Navy ROTC scholarship. Banani's was Marine option, but it's required that they go to this 2.5 week course. It goes 3 times throughout the summer to get all these candidates, these cadets, in before they go to their college or their service academy. No, not service academies, but colleges that have ROTC units. It's an ROTC scholarship, so it's mandatory. I'm glad she went. I can't wait to hear all about it. Jared says, I went to Home Depot the other day and have a veteran discount, 10% off. Young lady asked me our branch. I said Marine Corps, and she said she wanted to join. I talked with her 20 minutes about joining. There you go. And good on her, one for working, but realizing, maybe there's much more for me. The other post I did, that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. What sets Marines apart? And I knew the comments were going to be, and I think I even said it in the short. Easy, Marines are going to have all kinds. They got a list of what sets us apart from everyone else. And of course, there's some clowns on there, some haters. It's the crayons, a couple funny ones, maybe one funny one. The pride, the discipline, the first to fight. All those things came up, and it just some pretty in-depth ones. Ones I actually wanted to screenshot and put them out there. But what really sets us apart, and the common theme on a lot of your answers, your comments were the brotherhood, the sisterhood. And I know all the other services have it. I know the fire department has it, police, all the first responders, EMTs. I know they have that brotherhood and sisterhood. I got to assume, even if say you worked in Toyota for 35 or even 4 years, you build a bond with people that probably lasts for a long time. The difference with the Marine bond, I think, is it has no age limits. It has no um, generational requirements or gaps. It just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter your MOS. Doesn't matter what East Coast, West Coast, boot camp, OCS officer, enlisted, 80 years old or 17 years old. There's that bond that Marines have. It's unbeatable, man. It's unbreakable. Even doesn't matter what kind of experience you had in the Corps. Deployments, many deployments, no deployments. Got in trouble, got busted, right? The Corps screwed you over. You don't have an honorable discharge. You have something other than an honorable. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. We have that bond that's unbreakable and even unexplainable to a certain degree. And there's many quotes, right? Eleanor Roosevelt's quote, I love it, the filthiest minds, the dirtiest bodies, the cleanest morals, whatever. All those. Um, Army generals. Man, of course, I'm going to brain fart all of them right now, but just shows you not only do Marines know. That's why I put in the short. Marines, you're going to come up with some good stuff, discipline, but it's what other people think of Marines. Just solidifies our bond with each other, and it's great. It's good. That's why I did that one. And then it rolls over to the different types of veterans, right? How many different types of veterans are there? And again, back to it doesn't matter whether you did 4 years, 40 years, enlisted officer. What type of veteran are you? Meaning, once you take the uniform off, you have a bunch of moto gear, hats, beanies, lanyards, backpack, truck, your vehicle, stickers all over it. Well, because I did the one, would somebody be able to tell you're a Marine? Well, yeah, all that Marine crap you're wearing, of course. But even if you weren't wearing it, could you be identified? Then there's the Marines that the day they get out, in fact, a week before they got out, they already started growing their beard instantly. Woof, beard, hair, ponytail, man bun, anything and everything that they couldn't do as an active duty Marine. Nothing wrong with that either. That's you've earned that right, right? The same ones that stay clean shaven every day, still tuck their shirt in, moto gear, and if they have a moto tat, they make sure you can see it. And their conversation usually starts with, "Yeah, when I was a Marine, when I was active duty." Then you have the 30-year guys who don't talk about. I'm telling you, just all different spectrums and all the services. I'm sure they have their same people, but when those two extreme Marines come in contact with each other, whether it's at Home Depot, gas station, right, Costco, something clicks. Hurrah, hurrah. Semper Fi Marines, Semper Fi. I like talking to them older guys, giving them just a little hurrah. Sometimes it startles them, but it also makes them stand up straight, shoulders back. Boom, looking at me. What outfit would you wear, son? They used to call it outfits back then. I love that. I was in the third outfit in Okinawa, my first duty station. They remember guys' first, last names, and where they're from, and their nickname. Remember John Big Tex Williamson? He was right out of Eugene, Texas. I think that's two different places that you just put together. He had a brother, and I mean, they know so much about each other: first name, last name, where they're from, what their hobbies are, and again, their nickname and what kind of shot they were. He couldn't hit a right side of a barn, but I tell you what, some good hand-to-hand combat with this guy. Love hearing those stories. And they could be talking, you could be talking to a general or a third-time award or five-time award private, like leg hooky. Doesn't matter. You have that bond with each other. That was the whole point of that short. And it was good. I loved your comments. Love still reading them. I didn't get a chance to get to all of them. Bob, 420 Network, retired 50 years ago. Joined. Mine wasn't 50 years, but it was a few decades ago this day, right? This is when I was on those yellow footprints thinking, uh, I might have made a mistake. What am I doing here? Old Gyrene says it does click. No matter what generation, old breed, new breed, Marine breed. Hurrah. It gets no better. Gets no better. And it's good. The service rivalries, right? We talk about it. I talk trash about all the other services, as do they talk trash about Marines. It's kind of hard to find something to talk bad about Marines. Luckily, they have the crayon thing. That's new and it's funny. Still, at the end of the day, and it takes a mature person after a while, after years of it, love all the branches of service. Yes, even the Space Force. We love them all because we're one team and we are the greatest fighting force in the nation, in the world, on the planet. No doubt in anyone's mind. But that's part of it too, having that service rivalry and even that inner service rivalry. We fight just as much in the Marine Corps as we do amongst the other. Now, if it's we're going to, of course, have our own backs if we're going with other services, but in the service, come on, Hogs, you don't think that's a constant battle all the time, right? You're going to talk trash about Pogues, but when that motor T driver comes up and that's the unit I was talking trash, all of a sudden my tailgate doesn't go down. You got to climb over. Uh-huh. Tarp? What tarp? I didn't think it was going to rain. I didn't bring a tarp. See if you talk bad about Motor T again, right? Hot chow, we couldn't warm up the C rats, T rats. We couldn't. Sorry, couldn't warm up the T rats. You're gonna have to eat this chicken a la king cold. hmm Keep talking trash about the pokes. That's how it works. That's how it works in all the branches of service as well. So it'll never go away, right? East Coast, West Coast boot camp, right? Paris Island still making Marines. Not as good as San Diego, but they're still making Marines. Where would we be without that rival? Because all it makes you want to do is get better, right? 1% better, be better than the guy before you. That's the problem with I had again. I don't want to beat it up here again. The last place I worked, no one wanted to get better. They're okay with being okay. But since when? Since when are Marines okay with just being good? It's not in our DNA. I always want to get better every single day. You want to do something better than you did yesterday. So when you get around people that are complacent, okay with being okay, mm-mm, wrong. That's when you got to go. That's where that inner service right because you talk trash to a Marine, they're gonna go the extra mile and get better. Mm. Except that last place I worked, they didn't. They were okay with just being okay. All right, David Bryant. Stepped on the yellow footprints on April Fool's Day, 1980. Try to explain that it was a mistake. No one listened. Fools. Who, who's the joke on? April Fool's Day. That's pretty interesting. Can I tell them what the joke we played on April Fool's? Good on you, David Bryant. That's funny. April Fool's Day. You try to tell your drill instructor you were just kidding. April Fool's. I need to get back on that bus. Go back to the airport. Jared, I know I'm a Marine because when everyone refers to me as soldier, oh, it's almost fighting words. It's another good one that people don't know. Thanks for bringing that up though, because again, it's offensive, right? That's how Marines take it. Like you do literally want to fight someone, they call you a soldier, and they don't do it. We're soldiers of the sea, right? That's in our history, but it is different. Somebody put that on the post today. A comment on yesterday's post. That's what he said. The Marines are different because soldiers are in the Army, airmen are in the Air Force, sailors are in the Navy. He didn't mention Coast Guard, but what are they? Coast Guardsmen are in the Coast Guard. Guardians are in the Space Force, but Marines are Marines. We're not in the Marine Corps. We are the Marine Corps, and that's different. So when people do call us soldiers, yes, look at them. Take care of your soldiers. It's for those of you that don't know, most of us know, again, the mature ones know that you're not being disrespectful. It's just you just don't know, right? So Marines are Marines. They're not called soldiers. They're not soldiers. Troops is even that's more of an army thing too. So when you're talking about, hey, I need you to get 20 Marines and come over here. To an army guy, you can say, hey, I need to get some troops over here, get some soldiers over here, airmen, right? Can you get some of your troops, some of your airmen, some of your sailors? Marines are Marines. We don't go by soldier. Again, that's history, but we are soldiers of the sea, but we're Marines. Yeah, right. Carrie Ann Marie Potts.
Did you was on the cutoff joining or did they want to join?
Oh, good question. Did somebody put you up to that? Carrie Ann Marie Potts asked, did I have some influence? Is that the word she used?
Did you have influence on the girl?
Did I have an influence on my daughters joining the Marines? Of course not. Indirectly, I think so. So if USMC Cece is here, which is nice, yeah, she should be. Where is USMC Cece? I would let her tell her story, but she didn't decide right away. She was in JRTC with me for 4 years. She was ERA, beast mode. So on the drill, she was a commander. She ended up being the company commander. She did some Raider events. She was a beast.
You see the green?
But she got accepted to, oh, no, who's the green?
Well, very
Ralph Perry. Semper Fi, brother. Did you have a question? Thank you for the super chat. Ralph, appreciate you. Did you have a question? Was there a question attached to it? Just some moto. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, Derek Big Horse. I have a daughter in the Marines and one going to be. So, yes, our middle daughter enlisted in the Marine Corps. She had been accepted to a college or two, and she was looking at something. It was going to be. She didn't join enlist right away, and one day she came home from out and about. To come to find out, she's at the recruiter's office, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna." Or did she say she enlisted, or she was going to? I'm going to enlist in the Marines. And of course, I'm like, "Eh, are you sure?" That was my question. Are you sure? Did you check out the Air Force? It's my own kid. Of course, 1000% biased towards the Marine Corps. Want to make sure she was doing the right thing for the right reasons. And when she, if she comes on tonight, or you can ask her later, we supported her 100%. I was behind her, whatever decision she made, 100% support. Now, Carrie Ann Marie, was I happy she chose the Marine Corps? Absolutely. Right. And I thank God every day that I chose the Marine Corps. But I had zero knowledge, but God and Chesty pointed me in the right direction. So do I think her being my daughter, I indirectly influenced her? Absolutely. I think because she sees my pride, she hears my pride. We're in JROTC together. She knows. I mean, I'm more of a Marine than not. She's like my edge. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Look at there, Anderson Ho. Hurrah. Semper Fi, brother. Appreciate you. Super chat. Awesome. Anderson Ho knows what I'm talking about. I did. I did the parent thing. Carrie Ann Marie, back to you. I did the parent thing and said, did you check out the other services? Are you sure this is what you want? And then I held my breath until she said, yes, I'm sure. Till she said, yes, Sergeant Major, I am sure. Hurrah. So we support it. Again, indirectly, yes, I'm positive that that has something to do with it too, because then we go move on to Annie Banani, who did 2 years of JROTC, 2 years of Army JROTC, right? We didn't even serve together, but again, and she kicked butt in her unit. They remember they're the national champion drill team, right? So she got those 2 years. She completely read it out. So her going through the whole process, and we shared most of it, almost all of it with you. Her process to get to where she is now. That was a decision she applied to the Naval Academy, West Point, um, about 13 different schools. A&M, remember service, just schools in general. Norwich,
Let's go, I think UNC or not.
and the UNC, I don't know if she got a call back, but all good schools. Excuse me, about 13 solid schools. I know it's written somewhere. And she got accepted to most of them, some waiting lists, right? Naval Academy, she got the prep school. Um, Military Academy, West Point, prep school. Norwich, she got accepted. So I'm telling you, she got some great acceptance, acceptance into some great schools. The number one reason why she chose A&M, because she's on the NROTC scholarship, Marine option. She's guaranteed to be a Marine. So you want to take that chance with the Naval Academy or West Point. It's a good chance. I think West Point is it's even harder. It's a smaller select few that get it, and good on the ones that do. And congratulations to the one who go there to be Army officers. And same with Naval Academy. You want to be a naval officer. Awesome. Annie Banani didn't want to take that chance of not getting the Marine option. And that was the reason. Did I have an influence in that? I don't think so directly. I didn't tell her anything like you're going to be a Marine officer and nothing else. No way in hell. We supported her, whatever she decided. And she decided that. In fact, I think she told it on the show. She said it live on one of our lives when she was with me. Someone said, "Why'd you pick A&M?" I think that's the first time we heard it come out of her mouth, where she said West Point couldn't guarantee Marine option. The Naval Academy could not guarantee the Marine option. A&M can. And her major. Yeah, she wasn't too happy with Naval Academy. Well, not that she wasn't happy. She was, yes, just A&M has the majors that she was looking for. So
Horse, that's a good question.
Who did?
Derek
Big Horse. Let's hear Derek Big Horse's question.
officers, and if she's enlisted.
Okay, both good questions. Derek, Big Horse asked, so middle CC, she's enlisted. Would I recommend her for warrant officer or even commissioning? Yes and yes, both. Once she does everything she wants to do as enlisted. One of the main reasons why I never went warrant officer or commission, because I was having too much fun as an enlisted Marine. All I wanted to do. So I tell USMC Cece, well, I recommend, if that's eventually what you want to do, be a warrant officer or a commission officer, by all means, go for it. Just do everything as enlisted you want to do first, which she has been doing. Right now, now she's reserved. She's in the San Antonio Police Academy getting some. So still, she still got, she has time. Annie Banani, she is going officer, right? And she knows that once she goes officer, you can't go back anymore. You can't revert back to enlisted. Long time ago. You said, I think I told you about that. One Marine, our company gunny, did that. He was a first lieutenant, reverted back to enlisted. Otto, gunny Otto. Yeah, he was good. But they don't do that anymore. So what do I recommend for kids right out of high school? And that question comes up a lot. So appreciate you asking it, but it's got to be up to the individual. I'm going to tell you how awesome it is being enlisted, and I had no regrets, wouldn't change a thing, loved everything about it, never thought more than a couple minutes about being a warrant officer or an officer. Just is not for me. Love being a Marine. Annie Banani, or back to, here's what I tell people when they ask me. I can tell you everything there is to know, almost, about being an enlisted Marine, and I'm totally biased. What I recommend you do for the officer side is talk to officers, active duty, retirees, did 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 35-year career. Try to talk to as many officers as you possibly can. And then go on here. We talk about it quite a bit on the channel. So um, Marines, officer and enlisted, chime in all the time and they give their 2 cents on it. Derek Big Horse says, what's your favorite officer rank? I like the captain rank because they're pretty cool and hard chargers. Yeah, Marine captains are. They're at the company level, company commanders, right? They're gonna save America, be Captain America. Still gung ho. Majors are weird rank. Funny you ask that. And yeah, I like the lieutenants right out of college, right out of OCS and TBS. I like trying to help mold them, so they're fun too. But captains are good. Majors that in between rank, kind of, right? Because you're an XO, maybe somewhere in a battalion. Nobody really knows what you do. You're a workaholic. You're gonna get beat down wherever you are. Regimental ops, you work anywhere in ops, you're gonna get beat down, but nobody knows and nobody's gonna care. Right? You're gonna work 20 hours a day, and you'll still get your butt chewed by the battalion commander. So majors that odd, and you might get I somewhere. You'll be a company commander. That's weird, but it's a command. So between captain and lieutenant colonel is cool because now you're a battalion commander or a squadron commander, so a little bit bigger. And then the colonels are cool too because they've checked a lot of boxes to make '06. Problem is sometimes those '06s make '06 and then they're done. They know they're not going to get general, so they're just done. That's when they become selfish and only worry about me. E9s too, it happens to E9s as well. Sergeants major and master gunnery sergeants. It's like I hit the top, I'm done working, which couldn't be further from the truth. You hit the top, now your workload just doubled, if not tripled. Again, currently, last year, colonel I was working for completely stopped working. The sergeant major I worked for completely stopped working. Like 180, you got it backwards, bro. You're on top. You're in charge of a whole bunch of people. You're in charge of Marines. Now your workload just doubled. Work harder. not less. So gotta be careful with those E9s and O6s, and just hope they're in it for the right reason. Passion, love of core, wanting to make not only not trying to make you you're trying to work yourself out of a job. So I'm going to give you everything, all the power, all the backup. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to do everything I can for you so you can put me out of a job. So when I retire, easy. Go ahead and pick any one of you to stand up. Tell you, huge accomplishment. I don't like to pat myself on the back, and it wasn't all just me, but every single first sergeant from my last deployment, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines, every single one of them got promoted to sergeant major. Every first sergeant. Got to say, collectively, what we did as an organization, as a band of brothers, worked out for everyone, right? I retired, they all became sergeant majors. Perfect, because I have one job, to take care of them, not to take care of myself, not to worry about me. I is gone. Once you become a leader, I and me, you got to take those words out of your vocabulary. Too many times it happens, people get to those spots and they become selfish. It's all about me. How can I make myself better? I want the front parking spot. I want the t-shirt that says I'm in charge, and leave me alone. Happens far too often. What do you do about it? You continue to try as much as you possibly can, but there comes a point where you just gotta, all right, you're on your own. It'll catch up to you. Karma, something will happen. Hopefully nobody gets hurt in your process of being selfish. All right. Ralph Perry, era. Don't have Chief One Officer fives in your day. When did Chief One Officer fives come around? David Bryant, is there? They are eliminating it now. Maybe yeah, certain MOSs, LDOs, Chief One Officer fives. Um, met a couple. Chief One Officer fives, not that many, right? Infantry, the gunners, Chief One Officer five, Marine gunner. This is some bad. Awesome. Uh, Carrie Ann Marie Potts. Out of all your ranks, if you could go back to one, which one? Sergeant, easy, easy. 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. But here's the thing with that. Of course, everyone wants to be promoted. You want the higher rank, you want the more authority, you want to be in charge of more people, right? Bigger responsibility. All those things come into play. So, as much as I love being a sergeant, I didn't want to do it forever. But I think me personally, I enjoyed it because you're right on that cusp of you still be good initiative, bad judgment, right? You're not a staff NCO yet. You're not an E6. So you won't get as much trouble, but you can give it all, right? And do the Air Force salute. I didn't know, right? Because once you pick up that rocker, once you become a staff NCO, you can't make mistakes like that. But you can still be very, very aggressive as a sergeant. And those were the best. I was a sergeant, and I did most things. I was a sergeant for 5.5 years. I think is why I liked it also, because I was a drill instructor. I went to MCIWS, right, as a swim instructor. Went to Mountain Leaders Course, summer and winter. I did so much as a sergeant. I think that's why it brings back great memories. But again, it was that era in the Marine Corps. Everyone was kind of stuck at that rank during that time, whatever you were. Thankfully, it was when I was a sergeant. Loved it, loved everything about it. And then I loved getting promoted, of course. I see a green super chat. Who's that?
Announcing it, it's a yellow.
Who was it? Oh, Sergeant Stacking. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Member for 6 months. And you helped us do get membership started and all that, which we still behind the power curve. We still suck at it. I can say it. I can say it. We still more to follow. TBD. We're gonna make it happen. Appreciate you. Stacking. Always appreciate your support. Sergeants are still, I missed that one. Backbone of the Corps. That too. So sergeants are still rolling in the dirt with the boys. Okay, as a staff, so as a staff NCO, you still can, but you also have bigger responsibilities, right? As a staff sergeant, now you're starting to get into the hogue. Even in the infantry, you're getting into the planning. You got to be for these meetings. You got to go to the cub and the bub, and you got to sit with the colonel and hear all these decisions. And but you're a part of it. You're making decisions for your boys, your platoon, your company. So it's a good place to be also. But it pulls you out of the field. You don't get to play in the mud as much. You don't get to go to the ranges. You don't get the helo drops and all the cool stuff. You can't go to range 800 as much. So more responsibility. But the sergeant, that's a squad leader. He's there 24/7 with the boys. That's the best place to be in the Marine Corps. The squad leader. Ever. But you're right. Staff NCOs, as the higher you get, the less with the boys that you're. And that's what kind of shied me away from becoming an officer. Same reason. I didn't want to leave rolling in the mud with the Marines. Officers do too, not as much. And you have to find that time. You have to pick and choose when you can and when you cannot, because someone wants a report, someone wants a PowerPoint, someone wants a brief, right? And as a platoon sergeant, you got that. Go ahead, Lieutenant. Take care of that. I'll be in the field with the boys. Come join us as soon as you can get away. Those are the differences. Small level, bigger level, same thing. As a battalion sergeant major, when the colonel had to go to meetings and I didn't have, I would take the jump and go visit the boys, go to their patrol bases, spend time with the Marines. Right, the colonel had to do his meetings and his PowerPoint. So in the stuff moving in and coming in, and what I see here is which way to go. And yeah, how long? Oh, all right, all right. Uh, yes, best Marines I had the privilege to serve with. Proud to serve under were staff sergeants. Oh, Jerry, telling you, I had some great stuff. Staff sergeant is a little kind of a weird rank too. Staff sergeant in the enlisted world, staff sergeant is like the major in the officer world. Kind of that in between a little bit. Depend on your unit, depend on the size, the TO, where you are in training, if you just got back from combat, whatever the situation is. But staff sergeant is kind of that weird one too. Gunnies, company gunny, especially company gunny, squadron gunny, battery gunny. Uh, that's the rank. Staff sergeants typically platoon sergeants working to be that company gunny, squadron gunny, battery gunny, whatever it is, working towards that. And the sergeants, that's kind of where the major is. The major's in between. I kind of that platoon sergeant getting ready to get promoted to be a battalion commander, get their own command, right? Top level school, the officers take care of their schooling too. Go to schools as a major, so when you come back to the fleet, all right, he or she's ready for a command. Major rank out of the way, top level schools out of the way. Let's get them in command. So it's cool. Interesting timelines for both enlisted and officers. Stay with it. Don't try to game the game. I think we talked about that before too. Don't try and game the system, right? And I did. I thought I was trying to. I got to do everything in my power to become a first sergeant and not a master sergeant. Was that Carrie Ann's second question? Was that part of her question? Somebody was. First sergeant or master sergeant. I knew again right away. I think on the drill field. By the time I was a drill instructor, that's when I knew I wanted to be a first sergeant. That's when you start getting fitness reports. So from day one, my very first fitness report as a young sergeant, I was putting F for first sergeant. And I think it was the fact, I think I told y'all before, I was an engineer, combat engineer, enjoyed it because it's not just one thing. I didn't do the same thing every single day, but I even got bored with that. Destruction, construction, loved the C4 TNT dynamite, loved everything about it. But then it just kind of repeated itself. And that's when I saw what the first sergeant did on the depot. Of course, I wanted to be a first sergeant at MCRD. Uh, That never happened, and I'm glad I didn't. I'll expound on that later. But seeing that the first sergeant who we had, the two first sergeants we had while I was down there, one was infantry and one was admin, right? So any MOS, right? Just like drill instructors are every single MOS has the opportunity to become a drill instructor. That's how first sergeant, sergeants major are. They can go to any MOS throughout the entire Marine Corps. And that intrigued me a lot, right? Because I knew I didn't want to be a master sergeant in the engineer community. I liked it. Where's Lay Cookie? Yeah, I'd say this all the time. I wasn't the greatest engineer. Wasn't very good at all. I enjoyed it. Doesn't mean I was good at it. I liked it because of diversity. But I knew I wanted to be able to move around. My first duty as a first sergeant was first one was Motor T Maintenance Company, right? In Okinawa, Motor T General Support Maintenance Company. My CO was a Chief Warrant Officer 3. Where's P-Dub? Has he ever been on here? That was interesting to me. Right off the bat, I was in a motor team maintenance company, general support maintenance company. Had no idea what they did. These guys built Humvees out of a hunk of metal. They would fabricate. They would make bolts, nuts and bolts to repair Humvees. They would paint them, the caulk paint, and that's what I do. I just go to each individual area of that shop and just kind of learn what they did because their job wasn't my responsibility. That's why I had 3 master sergeants and a master gunnery sergeant. Right? I'm the first sergeant in charge of morale, welfare, discipline, pay, everything else. Jared, which one? So no dead air. So that was the whole reason why I wanted to. The whole reason why I wanted to. Let me take a look here. Riley Porter. What's up, Riley Porter? Where you at? What are you doing? Staying out of trouble? Give us an update, Porter. I want to hear what you're doing now. Staying out of trouble would be my biggest concern. Uh, Still getting after it. I'm sure he's still a stud, but give us a little update. Good to hear from you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. You can back me up on some of those stories I was telling about leadership. Uh, but let us know what you're doing. Good to see you on here. Hey, Chief, can you build a mortar tube out of the MRE boxes? So that's where the master arms come in, right? That's where the master arms, the master guns, that's where those guys come in. They can do weird stuff like that in the MOS. So back to me being a general support maintenance company, didn't know what they did. I learned by calling PFCs, hey, come here, PFC, tell me what you're doing. I said, well, yeah, I'm taking this hunk of metal, I'm gonna turn it into a bolt so I can attach the phalange to the left side of it, so this Humvee we can get out of here back on the road, right? Somebody's counting on this Humvee truck, the MRAPs, all those. That's what these guys did. They were amazing what they can do. And one day I'll show you some of the plaques that they made. They made me a MGB, a medium girder bridge, as a going away plaque. And it was about this big, but it was the whole bridge, just like engineers built over a little gap and everything. Amazing. They built the engineer castle out of wood. They could work with wood too, not just metal. And these guys were completely amazing on just their quality of work and their work ethic. Awesome. But again, I was a first sergeant with zero background in motor transport. Nothing, nowhere. Senior enlisted advisor to the commander. Handled their pay, morale, welfare, discipline, all the things that make them want to stay being a Marine. The master and the master guns kept them proficient in their job. Beautiful system. Love everything about it. Love how we do it. Same with sergeant major and master gunnery sergeant. That's just same thing, just on a higher level. That's where I knew I needed to be. Because from the Motor T Maintenance Company, I went to 2-5. So from Motor T to infantry with the combat engineer background. As soon as I finished 2 tours with the infantry, got promoted to sergeant major, went to the air wing, Marine Corps Air Station. Know even less about the air station than I did about Motor T. Doesn't matter because I was a senior enlisted advisor to the commander. And that one was weird. That was in Kaneohe Bay, where the squadron commander was a Marine, lieutenant colonel, and the executive officer was a lieutenant commander, '05 Navy '05, but Navy because we had the joint ops. The air traffic controllers were Navy, half of them, and all the ARF guys and everyone else was Marine. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I knew nothing about what they did every day because I wasn't in charge of that. That's what the master guns and the master chief petty officer had some chiefs in there too who handled those duties. And I had the honor and the privilege of just taking care of Marines, morale, welfare, discipline, everything involved sailors too, Navy and Marines. That's the difference. And that's where I knew deep down that I couldn't stay in one particular MOS forever. That was my reason. Loved it. Loved everything about it. I love the system that we have. And I think it works great. David Bryant, I'm lost. The new core, too much new technology. Don't feel the same. But it's a good thing we have those individuals that can keep up with it because that's today. David Bryant, brother, we got you. That's how it is. All right, Riley Porter. I'm doing great. Moved back to Arizona, start working for my father. Deering is also works for us. It's good we still get to work together. Glad to see you're doing well. Awesome. So Arizona working for Pops. Love it. Absolutely love it. Good to hear. And I'll shoot y'all a text. Yeah, what part of Arizona? I I I don't yeah, I don't remember. But good to hear. And tell Darian he better lock it up. He better be PTing. Um, he better be keeping up with you and your PT. Daring, because I'll wear his, you know what, he knows. Well, good to see you on here. Thanks for your support. And I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out and ask you some more details. We'll have to get y'all on the show here real soon. We'll update each other. Tell your pops I said hello, and your grandpops. Or, 1391. Who is that? I'm an old 1391 bulk fuel. Bulk fuel dad worked in bulk fuel 2 times. Once in Desert Storm because y'all were being overrun by our vehicles, nothing dangerous. Just there was so many. We were fueling every single country's vehicles, right? They had fuel farm after fuel farm. They start taking any extra bodies anywhere, um, building fuel farms, right? Humping hose. Oh, that sounds bad. Taking the gear everywhere, and I managed to get on. I was just pumping gas. I just wanted to pump gas just to see all the different countries, see the different vehicles, and kind of try to talk to whoever. Anyhow, that was one short stint. We were gas station attendees. And then later on in my career in 9th ESB, Okinawa, went there as a gunny. My first sergeant was trying to set me up for success to be a first sergeant and not a master sergeant. So he sent me to Bow Fuel Company to be the company gunny. Then he sent me to H&S Company to be the company gunny to learn the administrative side, right? The POG side of being an 8999. And it was good. Both fuelers were good. Pretty crazy. They were the crazy company out of the 4 companies in 9th ESB, right? I had to kind of watch them the most. Both fuelers kept me busy. NJPs and stuff. Maybe, maybe not. Uh, all right. Which post? When? You guys have to know environmental regulations. Ralph Perry. I didn't because I was an engineer and I did the Air Force salute when they would ask me environmental stuff. And so it's combat. Do they still follow it in combat? Yeah, I'm sure they do. So no, we didn't. We had the spill kits and all that. And you could only transfer, um, have so much spill on the deck before you have to clean it and all that stuff. That wasn't, we were deckhands, right? They would, I need some more bodies over here. We just unload, try to hook up to see how fast we can build a fuel farm. But I'm sure they followed all that environmental stuff. Positive they did, of course. Um, good stuff. All right. The other one, Don't talk USMC. Why did I make that note? Don't talk USMC. That was my note I put on here for myself. Yes, and only because I ran out of room. So the point of that one was I ran into another guy at the gym who we were drill instructors together. Santos, if you're on here, Semper Fi, brother. And that was decades ago that we knew each other, and he recognized me. The only reason I didn't recognize him because he was jacked. Man, he put on some weight. He looks good, solid, huge. But we're drill instructors together. Still lives or lives near Pendleton is probably why he obviously goes to that gym there. But just talking story with someone that you haven't seen in a very long time goes back to that camaraderie, that pride, and you can pick up a conversation like it was yesterday, right? And so, long story short, that was last year I saw him, and it was a huge deal. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We got caught up real quick. I just saw him the other day. Excuse me. But even the conversation then was like yesterday. That's the USMC talk. That's I kind of figured out my own notes here. That's that USMC talk because it does. I don't know what his MOS is. Do I? Man, if you're watching, I'm sorry if you told me. But that part doesn't matter either. That comes later in your conversations because I was watching Jameson. Those of you who know Jameson, I was watching him the other day, and he was saying you can talk to someone, carry on an entire conversation, not know for sure if he is a Marine or not. So what we do is we talk USMC, we talk Marine Corps, and then each other you'll pick it up. If you say something easy, like great talking to you, I'm gonna go make a head call. Context quiz, those kinds. No, context clues is what the producer's saying. So you can say stuff, and sometimes you don't even do it on purpose, but it's Marine talk. And that's how it comes out when someone you do a double take. I told you about my another buddy who in his shop he had male head and female head written above the bathrooms. And this whole time I was like, oh my God, you're a Marine. I didn't even know. Turns out he wasn't, his dad was. But it's ingrained, that Marine talk was ingrained into him. So that's how it some guys, some of you get out and don't talk Marine talk ever again. And that's your choice. But when somebody does talk Marine talk or you hear it, your ears perk up, right? The hair on the back of your neck stands up, and all of a sudden it's Marine talk again. No matter how you feel about the Marine Corps, right? The ones that say, "Oh, the Marine Corps screwed me," those TikToks, right? The Marine Corps screwed me. Haven't seen a Marine one. Saw another one where an airman, she was getting dogged by the chief master sergeant because he told her to move her car, and she said, "I ain't move my MF car. You want me to move my MF car? You take." It was just horrible, horrible conversation. Things that, and I just try to picture a lance corporal talking to a sergeant major or a master gunnery sergeant like that. No way in hell. It would not happen. And if it did, it'd be over like that because that lance corporal would be crushed. Who knows? I mean, it's just I don't even I can't even imagine what would happen because it just wouldn't. And here, this woman is doing it on social media, on TikTok, telling us how she was talking to this chief master sergeant. MF this and MF that, and it's then of course she brought race into it, and all he was trying to do is you can't park there. None of us were there, so we don't know the full story. And maybe he wasn't so nice about it, but he's an E9, she was an E4 or 5 or even 6, doesn't matter. If a sergeant major told me to move my vehicle, I would move it. That's the difference. Not only did she get mad because he told her to, but she got mad enough to put it on TikTok and embarrass herself. It was YouTube or TikTok. I don't remember. Had to be YouTube. I don't do TikTok. But what was she trying to that that video seemed to me like something somebody else would post. Like, hey, don't be this chick. Right? Don't do something as stupid as this. She posted it and wanted backup from. She's a victim. Right? Always playing the victim. You make me move my car. Well, you shouldn't have parked it there. I, as Chief Master Sergeant, move it right away. Move it and say, hey, would you mind telling me why can't I park there? What happened to just being a grown up about it, being responsible? And oh, by the way, he outranks you, right? And then when you know you're wrong, that's when she brought race into it and picking on him. Ah, but they post that stuff. And I was talking about talking Marines to again, but it hit me back to my very first one, social media. And don't do it. Derek Junkins, got one? Let's hear it. I can't see it. Too late. I see Ralph Perry. What's McJunkins? Ralph Perry says, thank God, and have never ever been accused of not being a Marine. And I have not been referred. Oh, I've been retired for 19 years now, but I have been blessed to be able to perform environmental for the USMC. I'm trying to, it's because of light. We're working with what we can. And it's all right, I'm blind. Well, let's just put it that way. Randall. Is that Randall? Randall Knapp, good to see you. Her peers should help her in the Marine Corps way. I'm telling you, again, that whole thing. Ralph Perry, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I can see that. I can see that. I got you. God bless you, brother. Appreciate you. What do you think about the Army? Who's trying to set me up? Teresa? Love the Army. Who? Friends don't let friends join the Army, but I love the Army. Earlier in the show, we were talking about that service rivalry, and it's going to be there forever. I'll never let it go away. I'm proud to be a Marine, 1,000%. And thank God every day because I can talk trash about everyone else. I joined the Marine Corps. This is a meme. I didn't make this up. I joined the Marine Corps so I can talk trash the rest of my life. Era. But I got no problem with the Army. They do things the way Army does things. So again, growing up being a young Marine, we see some soldiers like, oh God, look at their covers all nasty. And why do they do that? And they tuck their trousers into their socks and their boots. God, they're nasty. They're not nasty. That's their processes. That's their SOP. That's how they do things. They're different. Marines have a hard time with that. Americans, like when we go to another country, that country's all jacked up because they're not just like me. That's how Marines are kind of the same way. Why does the Army, they call it a cap, a patrol cap? What is the matter with them? No, idiot. What's the matter? We call it a cover. So it goes both ways. So I got no problem with any of the other services. Again, thank God every day I'm a Marine, but everyone has their differences on how they do things. So when I was in JRTC, same thing. We would see an Army unit and the girl's hair would be down and not, and their blouses would, be under. They would just look nasty. They weren't nasty. They were just different than the Marines. So we take that as, well, if you don't do it like me, then you must be wrong. That's Marines. That's the fanatical Marines being fanatical about what you say about being Marines. So, how do I feel about the Army? I don't even, was that the question? It's called a PC, Patrol Cap Era. Get some, Derek. It is, but that's weird to us. PC, a cap. Don't call it a cap, it's a cover. And if you don't call it a cover, something's wrong with you. That's Marines, being Marines. But it's fun. It's fun, and you can always find a way or reason or something to talk about to get that inner service rivalry or the service rivalry. And that just makes you better, right? And we use it all the time for each other. Hey, come here, Marines. You want to look like that unit over there? It's kind of what you look like right now. You better get your stuff together, right? That's what you're going to look like. So it's again, use that to your advantage. As a leader, use it to your advantage. Oh, really? You think their camis are nasty? You think their boots are nasty? Look at yours. You look like them. You better square yours away. But it's different. We have different rules, different procedures, different policies. grooming standards. I don't know how many. I've seen more soldiers with beards than not. I've seen more soldiers out in town in camis than ever before. It seems like right now, I don't know what it is. Right now, not only are they at Costco in camis, they also have a beard. Just something weird. There's just something going on that, and it's easy for me to say, "Oh, no, that's Army. That's what Army does. They're nasty." No, there's solid soldiers. It's these TikTokers, the ones that are just trying to get, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, get that attention, right? No love at home. What are you missing in your life? Like trolls. When trolls come on here talking trash, what are you missing in your life? And really, the only thing I can do for you is pray. I'm gonna pray for you until you get your stuff together. That gigantic woman on TikTok, how she's gonna try and eat herself out of the army. I pray for her that she comes around and gets it together and realizes, no, this is not me. That I am missing something, and she can find it in Jesus. All right, amen. Uh,
Thank you. Pray for Richard Bridges.
yeah, Richard Bridges. Have we heard anything? Yeah, if you could, everyone, and not only because it's Sunday, and I did I skip over no, I talked about, or a message was today in church, how great it was, but prayers up to all of them. We haven't heard back from
Richard Bridges.
Tomo. Yeah, Richard Bridges and Tomo.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, yeah, packed everything up. Richard Bridges. Hopefully you can get back on here. Maybe watch this later, and everyone. I know I haven't recognized a whole bunch of people because I can't see. But God bless you all, and please keep people like Richard Bridges, Tomo, anyone that needs prayer. Prayer works, ladies and gentlemen. Prayer absolutely 100% works. Don't forget, we're gonna get Salty on here to talk about his run-ins with God. But yes, please, prayers up. Always thinking about and looking out for each other. Prayer works. Don't let it slip you by. Do your buddy checks. John McJunkin nailed it. Do your buddy checks, not just calls. I mean, not just texts. Excuse me, calls also. And if you can find a way to change your course, if you happen to be driving Midwest somewhere, I don't know, try to swing by and see an old buddy from boot camp from Okinawa from 7th ESB times. We're at Lake Cookie. We're meeting one of our, and I'll let you know when we get up there. Maybe we'll get him on a quick show. But a buddy from boot camp, right? Another August. We're all celebrating. No, because I did recruiter assistant. I was a little later than that. Anyhow, buddy checks. Thanks, McJunkin, for bringing that up. Reminder. Buddy checks, veteran services organizations, small veteran-owned businesses. Right? We haven't talked about it. I didn't even bring anything here with me. Our shop is back open, and we're going to see picking up Annie Banani. So give us a day or 3 or 4, but it is still open. Is it though? SFMF merch.myshopify.com. Check it out. Did you say we're PCSing? We did. We just did a PCS. A Diddy move. That's when you do it yourself. We are doing it ourselves. Late Cookie. Derek Big Horse. I was attached to 7th ESB during Fallujah 2004. 7th ESB, great. Half, but a big portion of my career was there. 7th ESB had deployed as well to Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Somalia. Oh, that's why. 7. Oh, yeah. So funny, Derek. So who were you with when you got attached to 7th ESB? Because when I went to Somalia, I was with 3rd CEB. We get into Somalia and they attached us to 7th ESB. My old gunner, Chief One Officer Gunner Medley. Uh, who graduated in August? Randall, was that you? I graduated in August also. Oh, no, I got there in August. Diddy move. Haven't heard that. Like a Diddy move. You know what's funny about the Diddy move is we never did one. We didn't do Diddy move is when you drive. You do it all yourself. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. On by choice, we did a couple Diddy moves in Okinawa, from base to off base to on base, couple times. Somebody may have done it once by herself. Still here, never hear the end of that one. You hear about the first female NFL referee? Right, she threw a flag on a football player that did something 3 years ago. Right. Yes. Frederick. Frederick what? Frederick. I ship out November 5th. Super excited to join the Corps and earn that Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. Congratulations, November 5th, right around the corner. Hopefully, you've been watching the show for a while and you know to be physically fit and mentally tough. Learn as much about the Marine Corps as you possibly can. General orders, code of conduct, rank structure, rank insignia, right? Recognize what they all look like. And PT every day. Planks is new, so make sure you're doing the planks. But November, you still got plenty of time to do all that stuff. Right? Tell a story about USMC Cece. She put the general orders on the roof of her bedroom. She slept on the top bunk and read those before she went to sleep every night. Graduated, honor graduate in her boot camp. So get after it, Frederick. Good on you. Congratulations. Let us know as soon as you get back, or stay with us until you go, and then let us know as soon as you get back so you can give us the latest. Anderson Ho did a Diddy move from LA to New Orleans, and then from New Orleans back to LA. Best part, you have to uniforms and other important items right away when you get there. So the beauty of not doing a Diddy move is the movers come. Remember, they take your express shipment. You put stuff in one room. You want this. You want to be able to access this as soon as you get to your new duty station. So they come early, pick it up, and deliver it. Then the rest is household goods. It might take a month or two. Or if you're like us, or one of our Hawaii trips, the ship was offshore hanging out on strike before they came and dropped our stuff off. And then you travel with the stuff that you're going to need immediately, obviously, like your alphas, because you're checking in. But yeah, yeah, most of our moves were overseas, California, Hawaii, Okinawa. So we didn't, oh, yeah, we didn't do any mainland move that we could have driven. We couldn't have driven MCRD to Camp Pendleton. Oh, yeah, we're already living. Yeah, interesting. That's why we didn't do any. For boot camp, what's the date? October 18th. Write this down. October 18th is the boot camp challenge. Is that what it's called? MCRD San Diego boot camp challenge. 60 drill instructors are going to assist you on this 3 mile run. It's 3 miles. It's nothing. It's a 3 mile obstacle course, but it is only 3 miles on MCRD. They mapped out 3 miles. You're going to probably go through the couple obstacles, maybe some of the confidence course. I'm guessing some mud somewhere somehow. But drill instructors are going to be running. It's like the third annual, fourth annual. Haven't been doing it very long. November what? What was the date? October 18th. October 18th. $60 a person or a team for 100. But we want to put together October 18th. We want to put together a couple of SFMF teams. So if you're interested, let us know in the comments. Let us know if you're interested, and we'll get a producer to make some shirts. We'll compete as a team, one or two. It's only a 3-man team, so I might get one or two 3-man teams. And it's by age category. So look it up. October 18th, San Diego MCRD Boot Camp Challenge. Check it out. We will definitely be there. I'm about to talk if he doesn't comment. Who are you talking to? Oh, dang. I'll have to miss it. All right, here's John McJunkin. Buddy checklist. Jared's busy, already making excuses. Military friends, military widows, veterans living alone. Yeah, you can. You and Jared, you better go. You can pass out water, right? The halfway point. It's only 3 miles. You can be at the first aid station. What can you tell me what McJunkin is saying? Buddy checks should include the following: military friends, military widows, veterans living alone in the VA hospital, old veteran homes, or those left homeless and families. Amen, John McJunkin. Absolutely. Anyone and everyone that has any part of the military or Patriots. But get after it. That's a buddy check. Josh, my brother needs a what? A notice? What kind of notice? Josh, I can't be running further than I can shoot. Why run when you can shoot? Doesn't ever go away. Jared, we need whether you go or not. So on MCRD, we did a fun run there. Wasn't anything like I think they're getting ready to do now, but as drill instructors during one of our breaks, that's when we did the mud run. Oh, that was Camp Pendleton. We put together a team of 6 of drill instructors. I think I told you about it. Like one of the first runs I ever almost fell out if it wasn't for Steph Sergeant Hastings yelling at me. He treated me like a recruit, but I was starting to act like one. So I had to step up my game. Could we just donate if we can't make it? Or can we make the donation, Derek? Big horse. Yeah, we definitely we'll discuss that. Appreciate the offer because that's what we want to do. We want to make this a community thing, right? I don't know how many people do it. The producer obviously found it online. We're definitely going to do it. Compete. Trying to get if y'all met Master Moreno, if he can get the time off, he'll come do it with us. Kimi Cocoa Puffs, she's doing it. She voluntold. I mean, really, what's the difference? So we're going to be down there. We're definitely going to do it October 18th. But we'll let you know about sponsored teams. How great is that, Derek? Appreciate you. I did a not so fun run, MCRD San Diego, a time or two. Sometimes they're fun, and you're right, Randall. Sometimes they're not so much fun. The 2 mud runs, I've done 2 mud runs at Camp Pendleton. Loved them both because we're doing with family and friends. Did one on Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Same thing with family and friends. Oh yeah, we can get the Holtz out there for MCRD. Either way, we want to make it a party, right? Have fun with it, and they are always fun. Of course, you have uh, the intense, like 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 trying to play a game of friendly golf with somebody, and all they want to do is I don't know, get holes in one or something. We do fun runs to have fun. If we place in there, even better. Is that a Wadi? Is that a weak ass? Would you recommend becoming a warrant officer or just enlisting and staying enlisted if you plan on making the military career and don't want to go the officer route? Well, that's on you. I want 100%. And you have plenty of time to make that decision. So after you enlist and you enjoy being enlisted, being a Marine, do the things you want to do as a Marine, drill field, um, recruiting, swim quals, SOI, do some B billets and find out really what the difference is. And then ask yourself, why are you considering being an officer? Is it the leadership billets and positions, more money, which unfortunately a lot of people do for that reason, just for the money. We'll hope that's not the reason, but maybe you like that lifestyle a little better. So you have the right mindset, but you got to find out for yourself, right? Watch some warrant officers, talk to some warrant officers, see what they do, and get a straight answer out of them. Again, I've come across some awesome warrant officers, and some in my battalion that I probably saw 2 times in a 3-year tour. Just depends on what type of Marine you are. Period. No matter what you wear in your collar, what kind of Marine are you going to be? All right. Oh yeah. Can we talk about something before? Yeah. Hey, Sergeant Major, my nephew just graduated down there this weekend. Earned honor man in his platoon. Down where? You're all bad kids is not MCRD. You're all bad kids where? Where's he at? Lake Cookie. Run 3 miles. Spent last 35 years trying to learn to work smarter, not harder. Yes. Um, so what you're saying, Lake Cookie, you don't want to be a part of this 3 mile run? You're all bad kids. Tell me your name. I don't remember. You've been on here before. No, that's his nephew. My nephew just graduated down there this weekend, Carter Ehrman. Yeah, he's talking about summer camp. Yes. Where are you talking about? You're all bad kids. They're big horse. Marines make a difference in the world, and you have to understand what role you want to be and making a difference regardless of the rank. Semper Fi. It's the same, Derek Big Horse. I'm telling you, again, it all my years being a Marine and seeing the good, the bad, the ugly, enlisted officer, both have their very, very good Marines and both have their not so good Marines, officer or enlisted. I would never try to say one is better than the other because I've met some very weak officers. And that's recently thinking, man, I'm glad we have our enlisted, and then turn right around and have met a very weak sergeant major. So it's not the rank that you wear, it's your character, it's your heart. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be a leader? What leadership traits are you displaying? What have you completely forgot about? How complacent are you? Right? How selfish are you? So what you wear, it's the type of individual you are. And again, very recently saw some, not just poor leaders, poor leaders can get better. I'm talking weak leaders, terrible, selfish. Did you all bad kids come back? 3 mile run. My running days are a dozen years behind me. Still in the gym routinely, but returning running days are gone. I I hear that and I concur and have no comment on it. But I'm telling you, I like to run. I told y'all recently I've been doing 2 a days, gym in the morning, run in the afternoon on the pavement because I did a fun run with Annie Banani and it kicked my butt. I've been doing the treadmill and the elliptical and thinking I'm getting my cardio in until I hit the pavement and reminding myself it's a little different. You gotta hit the pavement. But I absolutely love to run. Not like Forrest Gump, but I do. I love everything about it. I have very poor breathing. I have asthma thanks to the Marine Corps. But mm, right there, y'all bad kids. MMA, young kid, proud of him. He wanted to be a Marine since he could talk. Wants to be ground pounding. Yeah, he's got it. Again, look at some other schools. Navy Marine Corps school in California, Carlsbad, California. Right, those are all going in a different direction, a good direction. So keep working with them. Join Young Marines. Join a different Marine JROTC unit. All those things. Army JROTC, right? Um, and those are all free, right? So help guide him to steer him in the right direction. I'll put it that way. Good on him for graduating summer camp. Summer camp is not what it used to be, but good on him. Tell him congratulations and think big, much bigger. Old Jerry and John McJunkin. Think between Lake Cook and old Jerry and found my platoon mates. During boot camp, iron sights, still practice. No more iron sights at boot camp. I think you probably mess around with them, but not qual. No more iron sights. And as much as I'd like to be team Iron Sights alumni, and be old school Iron Sights, there's nothing like a good optic, right? To get you on target a whole lot quicker. Optics, you can also just observe, right? You can look out and use those optics to observe. So as much as I love the iron sights, one of those things you got to move with the times. Some of these old timers, that's what you get, people who don't want to change. That's the problem with just talking to you're all bad kids. That's the problem where that school is going. They don't want to change with the times, so they're falling behind. You have to keep up with the times. Iron sights, as good as they are, optics are that much better. Get you on target quicker. Uh, Canon 0300 USMC. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you. Thanks for being here. We're getting close to wrapping it up, landing that helicopter pretty soon, but it's been a great show. Again, a little bit of a new, we're still working on the studio. We're still working on it. And when it comes, when we're finally finished with it, whoa, man, I can't wait. Can't wait. I'm sure you got to feel the same way. It's coming around. It's coming around. It's even hot in here. You're right. She said I was going to get hot. It's getting hot. It's gonna start sweating and my hair is gonna get messed up. Us old timers need optics now. And I'm telling you, like, look, I fought the optics. I fought them. I fought them when I came back to the fleet after the Staff NCO Academy. It's like, oh man, all this crap. I don't even know what it is, how it works. Really, I don't need to. I got to take my iron sights off. And he said, here, take these with you in case you need them again. You bet. I took my iron sights to combat with me until I looked through that RCO for the first time with that little chevron right on the head of it's like, yeah, because I can't see. Otherwise, iron sights, I got to put some reading glasses on. And I ain't doing that. So sights help. My hunting rifle, right? The scope on that's the kind of scope I need for an M4, kind of used for a hunting rifle. But change with the times. All right. What was the question? Again, Josh. I passed right by. Do you see he's asking for his son? I don't remember what the question was. John McJunk is looking for fellow Marines who enjoy working smarter, not harder. Let the young guns, let the young guns do more of the heavy lifting, motor runs, PT, while we kick back and relax. As long as you keep the beer cold for when we're done with the fun run. I'm a what's that called? Glutton for punishment, right? Ask Big O. Is Big O still here? That last marathon I did with Big O, it was the giraffe and rhino, and that's what I felt like, a rhinoceros. Couldn't breathe. I even out of the gate, I was like, "Oh, this is what I do. I can just run like Forrest Gump." Found out quickly with Big O, he's like 9 feet tall, so his stride is a little bit longer than mine. Kicked my butt. Yes, he had to wait for me. But I like
Just
picture a giraffe and a rhinoceros running side by side. The rhino was a little behind the giraffe, but he hung with me. And it was a terrible run. It was in Harlingen, Texas. Very few people there. Flat, beautiful city, very patriotic. Love it. But it's a Boston Marathon qualifier too, all flat. The only elevation was over a couple of railroad tracks. And luckily, actually unlucky, I wish we would have had to wait for a train track or a train so I could have caught my breath. But it was fun. But that's the kind of stuff I'll do out of nowhere. I told you I trained a week before that. Ran like 12 miles, 3 miles a day on a treadmill, not even on the road. Punishment, like punishing myself. Almost again, time to get that sea bag and go. Please don't wait. Enjoy your trip. Thanks, David. Appreciate you. Yeah, we do. I'm telling you, as soon as we close out here, we're gonna pack up the family, the ones that are here. And in fact, we're waiting on one. Where's Kimi Cocoa Puffs? We're gonna pack up, head out, Chicago, Illinois. Is that where we're going? Great Lakes? And we're gonna catch up with Annie Banani. She's still texting you? Does she still have your phone? Awesome. Can't wait to see her. Can't wait to update y'all Wednesday. We'll be on Wednesday. That is a travel day. So as long as everything goes smooth, we'll be back Wednesday to update you. We'll have the newly graduated from NSI, Annie Banani, to tell you all about it. In the meantime, it is still it's Sunday. If you haven't spent time with Jesus, I hope you do. And here's the one message I did want to share. This is from CC number 5. Faith display. Empty words, empty faith. Talk is cheap. It's still the no filter faith series that they're in right now. But number one, empty words, empty faith. Right? You can talk about it. The talk is cheap. Do you talk about doing the right thing? Do you talk about and he talked about cursing, swearing. I think I told you we talked about it recently. We don't swear in front of our kids. If we do, now it's more of a joke, still doesn't make it right. But we've never, my kids grew up thinking shut up was a bad word because that was the example that we wanted to display. So empty words, empty faith. Talk is cheap. You can talk all the game you want, and they call us, some of us, rowers. When you're only faithful on Sundays. You're a rower. You sit in a row on Sunday, talk all that good stuff, and then throughout the week you do all your sinning and bad stuff, and then right back to Sunday. That's the empty words, empty faith. Talk is cheap. So do what you say, right? Can we all act exactly how God wants us to in the image of God? It takes a lot of work, and you absolutely can. Is anyone perfect? Just God and his son, Jesus Christ. So to get to that level, it takes more than rowing every Sunday, right? We just both signed up or to help the church out on Sundays and on Wednesdays. We're all going on Wednesday because the Sunday crowd is going to meet up with the youth, the young adult group on Wednesdays, just to spend more time in here to hear the same message about God and His Son Jesus Christ and trying to live like Him. Amen. Amen to all of you. So hopefully you can make it. But dude, thank you very much, dude. Appreciate you. Uh, a new beginning. Thank you. Appreciate that. Amen. I'm telling you, I got word we wanted to quit doing swimming. Who was that? I got word he wanted to quit during swimming. No way. Um, hopefully he didn't, right? And they're not going to let you just quit. They're going to, but in case you don't know, Reverend Kelly, is that what that says? Here's how it works. If he failed the first day, excuse me, swim qual is like 2 days. At least it was. It might be longer, it might be short, depending on the size of the company. But he's got to pass. Minimum swim qual is really not that difficult. You got to walk, jump in the pool in full camis with a rifle, carry a pack. There's some things you got to do. Pretty hairy if you're not used to it. Jump off a 10-foot tower. If he doesn't get it that morning, he'll come back in the afternoon. They'll retest him and many others. He's not the only one. Many others that didn't qualify that morning, they'll have the afternoon. If they still don't get it, depending on where it is in the training schedule, it'll go back to second day. The worst, well, worst case would be never qualifying, but worst case, he would be dropped back to another training company. So he'd be put back in training a week, right? And then start over, not start over, start from where they are, which would be swim week, and he'll get right back in the pool. So he'll have, I'm guessing, 6, 8, 10 opportunities to pass swim qual before they kick him out. So write him, motivate him, tell him he's got this. The drill instructors aren't going to let him drown. They're going to teach him. They're going to help him. They're going to do everything in their power to help him graduate. Right. But that is one. At the end of the day, you got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to swim. You got to be able to pass the PFT, or you ain't going to be a Marine. That's when you join the Army. Just kidding, Army dogs. But that's a fact. So Reverend Kelly, good luck. We'll be praying for him. We'll be praying for your son. I have a feeling he's going to do it. I just got a good, strong feeling. I didn't see I didn't see any recruits get dropped because of swoon qual, but I don't know that for sure because if they dropped out of my company, then of course I lost contact with them. But I don't think he's still hanging in there and can shoot. He wants this badly. So I'm telling you, if he wants it bad enough, how bad do you want it? He'll make it happen. Right. The thing he's got to jump off the tower. That's probably maybe that's where he's getting stuck. Told you about a recruit that I had wouldn't jump off the tower. He asked me, please, sir, push me, push me. Of course, I obliged and gave him a little shove off the tower. It didn't count though. He's got to be able to do it on his own because no one, there might not be anyone at the on ship if he's got to jump off a ship into the ocean. So he's got to be able to do it himself. So write him ASAP if you haven't already. Uh, but it'll be good. Pray on it. Everybody, everyone here, if you could pray on it, that he finds it. He finds the intestinal fortitude and gets off that tower, if that's what's holding him up. Swimming all together. All good. All right. So we land this helicopter. Yeah, I think so too. We're gonna pack up, get ready to go. Chicago, Illinois, NSI graduation. We'll see Andy Banani soon. To the rest of you, all of you, thank you for your continued support. Appreciate you very much. God bless you, and we'll see you very, very soon. Semper Fi, my friend. Hurrah.